Good morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. We'll take the next 10 minutes and take a look at the weather, what's going on out there. We're going to look at our forecast through the next 7 days, which does include a slight chance of rain for the weekend. We'll also look around the nation where there's some very active weather going on both coasts, east and west coast. And we'll look at the tropics. We have a new tropical storm that has formed out in the Atlantic. Not going to be affecting the U.S., but it's the next one on the list, and we'll be talking about that. So let's get into it. Let's first take a look at the rest of the day forecast, and we're up in the upper 80s for later on this afternoon with just a few clouds around. We'll drop into the middle 80s by 6 o'clock and then fall back into the middle 70s as we head towards 10 o'clock for this evening. Of course, looks like a dry forecast out there. Allergy report, medium on tree, 22 there. Now looking at weed being heavy, mold being heavy, and then grass on the low side. So allergy reports kind of all over the place. If you're really sniffing and sneezing, you might be allergic to some weed and mold. Grass at least is low. All right, let's take a look at what's going on outside. We'll take a look at a couple of our Roofing 911 live sky cams. This one in downtown Beaumont, thanks to Packer LaPrey. It's on top of their building there as we look at the Jefferson County Courthouse here on this Monday morning. Currently showing 82 degrees. Then we'll switch to our 12 News studio camera, which is pointed towards the south down I-10, and it doesn't look like there's too much traffic out there if you're heading out to lunch here pretty soon. Looks like the roadways are pretty good there on I-10 if you need to use that for the lunchtime hour. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, and we do see a couple of clouds developing out there, but those are definitely not rain-bearing clouds at all, just a couple of puffy cumulus clouds. And so we'll go mostly sunny through the afternoon because I don't think we'll see too much more cloud cover than what we see out there right now. Maybe a few more clouds developing, but that's about it. It's going to be a very warm afternoon as we're expecting temperatures to reach the upper 80s for today there. And then we'll go over to Lake Charles where they don't have any clouds developing right as of yet, but they have clear skies as we look down at the port of Lake Charles and some of the waterways over there in southwest Louisiana on our Roofing 911 live Skycam network. But looking pretty nice over there as temperatures in Lake Charles are now just getting up into the lower 80s. And we'll check out one more camera before we'll switch over to look at some temperatures and look at what's going on across the rest of the state, and then eventually the rest of the United States here on our little 10-minute stream. All right, let's waiting for this camera to change over. It does it automatically, so waiting for the next one to pop up here. And there we go. We want to show you up in the lakes area, Jasper. And we have partly cloudy skies there. This camera brought to you by Pervalis as we look at the Jasper County Courthouse. All right, temperature-wise, we're into the lower 80s. Everyone's looking at lower 80s right now. 83 in Woodville, 82 in Jasper, as well as Kirbyville, and also Silsbee's at 82, and then Port Arthur's at 82. So a lot of 82s there. Beaumont's at 81. Orange currently showing temperature of about 84. Quiet across central Texas, east Texas, coastal Texas, but we are seeing some scattered showers out towards west Texas. Looks like some rain right along I-20 there from El Paso, almost not quite to, I'd say, the Dallas area. It looks like they're out of the rain right now, but this front has dipped down into the Texas Panhandle, bringing some showers there. Not going to really move much farther to the south and then eventually retreat back to the north. So we're not expecting this front to give us any rain. But it is at least giving some wet weather out towards parts of West Texas. They need it as much as we do. They've been pretty dry, so they're getting some decent rainfall. Look around the rest of the country. You can see that front stretches from all the way down through parts of New Mexico, all the way up towards, say, Chicago, the Great Lakes, and there's some scattered showers along the front. Nothing too heavy out there. Also been getting some precipitation through the Rocky Mountain states. They've been getting some snow out towards Colorado for this morning, so something they're excited about. Of course, ski season starts pretty quickly here. We have a big storm off the west coast. That's bringing some heavy rains towards the west coast. Also some snow up through the Sierra Nevada in California. So they're happy to see some of the snow, but they're not happy to see some of the winds they're seeing up in the Pacific Northwest. And speaking of winds, there's a nor'easter off the east coast, and that's bringing in some very heavy rains and wind through parts of New England for today as it kind of skirts up the coast there. Up in Boston, they're getting some very strong winds today. They could see winds upwards of 40, 50 miles per hour, and some rain being spreaded inland towards parts of New York State. Looks like Maine, New Hampshire, up towards Vermont and into Connecticut, getting some pretty good rain for today. Southeastern U.S., quiet, not much going on there. Florida looks quiet, and then that quiet weather extends all the way back Louisiana and into Texas here. we don't have much going on. Current burn bans are in place, and we see Tyler County, Newton County, and Orange County all under a burn ban right now. Orange County was just included this morning in the burn bans, so be careful out there if you're going to be out doing any burning in the counties that do not have a burn ban. Please be careful. If you don't have to burn, probably a good idea not to. It is so dry out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple more burn bans come up over the next couple of days or during this week, where we see a few more counties be put under the burn ban. But right now it's Tyler, Newton, and Orange counties. No burning in those locations. All right, let's take a look at our futurecast. We'll climb up into the middle 80s as we head towards say 2 o'clock or so, and then expecting upper 80s as we head towards 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. This futurecast not quite as warm as I think it's going to be this afternoon. 70s for the evening, and we'll fall back into the upper 60s by 10 o'clock. We drop off into the lower 60s, and we'll see a mix of 60s and 50s heading towards looks like Tuesday morning. And then as we get into Tuesday afternoon, once again we go right back up into the 80s with mostly sunny skies and not expecting any rain for Tuesday. Out in the central Atlantic, we have Tropical Storm Lorenzo. This is the next storm. It just formed this morning as well. Our winds are at 50 miles an hour, moving to the northwest at about 16. This is going to be another fish storm. Not going to be affecting really any land mass. You can see the track. It's going to basically take it just up towards the north and then out in the open Atlantic. They don't have it becoming a hurricane. They keep it as a tropical storm. You can see winds Wednesday, Thursday, Friday around 60, 70 miles an hour, but not up to hurricane strength. So we'll continue to watch it and track it for you, but like I said, well away from the East Coast, which is way over here. So I'm not going to have to worry about Lorenzo at all. Caribbean is quiet, Gulf is quiet right now, so we don't have to worry about anything. It looks like possibly the hurricane season is over for us. As we get farther and farther into October, chances are less and less that we'll see something develop. All right, our coastal marine forecast for today, mostly smooth on the inland lakes and bays. Southeasterly winds at 5 to 10 knots, seas only about a foot. There's no high tides today, but we have one low tide, and that's this afternoon at 3:12. Our sun sets tonight at 6:47. You can see right now at Texas Point, an east southeasterly wind at 9 miles per hour, gust to 12, and water temperature there at about 84. So our forecast calling for mostly sunny skies today, east winds at 5 to 10, and we'll go from 87 to about 89 as far as afternoon highs. So it's going to be really warm, not too bad, not too hot. And then clear skies for tonight. Winds will be light and variable, and then we'll see those temperatures dropping off. Lower 60s for a lot of places, but we'll also see some middle to upper 50s mixed in. I don't have upper 50s for Beaumont, but that thermometer out there at the Municipal Airport's been trending down into the upper 50s, so wouldn't be surprised to see the Beaumont Municipal Airport getting into the upper 50s for tomorrow morning. As we look at our 7-day forecast, we're not seeing much going on through Thursday. It's basically the same forecast over and over. Highs in the upper 80s, lows will be back down into the lower 60s as we go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then here comes those rain chances. Friday we'll go with about a 20% chance of a couple of showers. Same deal for Saturday, a couple of weak disturbances coming through. We'll still see those highs in the upper 80s, but lows will be warming up a little bit with cloud cover. We'll see upper 60s around 70 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now Sunday we actually have a cold front coming through, and that cold front will produce a little bit of wet weather for us. We're hoping anyway. We need the rain, and hopefully we'll see a couple areas that get a little bit of rain on Sunday, mainly during the afternoon. 30% coverage is not a lot, so not everybody will see the rain, but at least hopefully that the folks that do get the rain will see a couple of decent showers so you can pick up a quarter of an inch, half an inch. We're officially over 8 inches behind for the year at Jack Brooks Regional Airport, so if you can pick up a quarter of an inch, half an inch, it's not a lot to go towards that, but it will help out a little bit. So we're hoping that get a little something for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, let's go back to the sky cams real quick here. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this stream here after about 10 minutes. We will be back tomorrow morning once again at 11:30. We always do our stream from 11:30 to 11:45, so we'll be doing that for tomorrow and the rest of the week. Patrick does his stream every evening between 6:30 and 6:45, so you can catch that as well to keep up on what's going on weather-wise. Appreciate you watching the stream. Hope you have a good day. Be safe out there. I'll talk to you tomorrow.